In this lesson, we're going to graph using the slope-intercept form of a line. In the first example, graph the line passing through the point -3, -5 with a slope of -2/3. The first thing we need to do is plot our point -3, -5. And to plot a point, we start at our origin. Remember, the -3 is going to be our x component, our x variable. Our -5 is going to be our y. So -3 from the origin means go left 3, and the 5 means go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so therefore our point would be located in the third quadrant. That's our starting point because that line has to pass through that point with the slope of -2/3. Now remember, the definition of slope is going to be rise over run. The negative sign can be included in either the numerator or the denominator. It does not need to be both, though, because a negative divided by negative is a positive, and we definitely have a negative slope. So -2, I'm going to look at the negative sign with the 2. So the rise means I'm going to go down 2. If it was positive 2, I would travel up 2. But I'm going to look at the negative sign with the 2, so I'm going to go down 2. Let's make a little note of that. I'm going to go to the right 3 because that's a positive 3. So to the right 3, and then I'm going to mark my point. And then I'm actually going to draw my line. So I could say that the line passes through the point -3, -5 and has a slope of -2/3. In the second example, we graph the line passing through +2, +3. So starting at the origin, +2 says go to the right 2 because that's my x value. +3 says go up 3, and then I'm going to mark my point. It is only one point with a slope of 0. Now the only way to indicate a slope of 0 is to draw a horizontal line through that point. And that's what the line would look like with a slope of 0. If it had an undefined slope, or if it said it was a vertical slope, it would be a vertical line passing through the x-axis, but this passes through the y-axis. And just for an extra note, y equals to +3 would be the equation of the line. In the next example, we're not given a point. We're just given the equation that x minus 3y is equal to +3. So to graph this with the slope, we would first have to solve this for y. So to solve this equation for y, we need to subtract x from both sides. And when 3y is brought down, the negative sign comes with it. I would write the negative x first and the +3 second, just to keep it in the format of slope-intercept form, which is y equals to mx plus b. You want to be able to solve that for y. Because I need to get y by itself, I need to divide everything by -3, which is y's coefficient. And as long as you do that to everything, it'll be okay. So this simplifies to +1y. Negative divided by negative is positive. X's coefficient is actually a 1. You have the 3 still on bottom, and I would just write the x out to the side. The 3 divided by -3 is -1. So in this case, as we've looked at previous lessons, our slope would be +1/3 is the coefficient of x, and our y-intercept would be 0, or x would be 0, and our y would actually come from right here. This -1 is actually your y value. So now we have a point and we have a slope in which we can graph. So we would actually start on the y-intercept, which is on the y-axis. 0, -1 is right here. So everybody would start with the same point. And our slope is +1, so that means rise up 1, run +3 to the right. And there are 2 points. I can go ahead and select some other points if I want to, but 2 points are all you need for a line. And then we graph our line, placing our arrows at both ends. But the key to that one is to actually solve it for y. If it is not solved for y, solve for y.